Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to MPalm Podcast, where we discuss interesting subjects of everyday life. I'm your host, Laura, and I'm here with quite a few people I see. Mind introducing yourself to us?
Hi, I'm Angel. I'm Naya. I'm Prue.
And I'm Marcella.
And today's topic is about exercise. A lot of research has shown a majority of students lack physical activity despite it being a crucial need for a person's body. So I will go straight to the point what everyone's been curious about. I heard some of you conducted an analysis about exercise. What are all the exercises that you analyze? And would you please tell us how it is conducted?
Yes, not a problem. It's actually nothing special. In our school, there is a subject called PE, or physical education. It is included as a means to make students more active and healthy. It keeps students active, improves overall fitness, and teaches us the importance of a healthy lifestyle. Now, what kind of exercises do we actually do in PE? Our last assignment was to do a circuit of exercise to determine our physical fitness. These exercises can be categorized into three different sections: cardiovascular endurance components, strength components, and coordination components. Cardiovascular endurance components include running for 400 meters. In this exercise, the time each student needed to achieve 400 meters will be noted and taken as data. As the name suggests, its purpose is to test the student's cardiovascular endurance. On the other hand, strength components include sit-up and back-up. It is done 30 seconds each. The amount of movement done will then be noted. As also the name suggests, its purpose is to test the strength of the students, specifically more to the strength of the core and back. The last one is coordination components, which includes skipping for 30 seconds similar to the strength components. The amount of skips in 30 seconds will then be noted and used for data. Skipping requires the coordination of the legs and hands. It requires skills to jump at the right time while swinging the rope with the hands. Also, a lot of hand-eye coordination, as we had to time our jumps perfectly while swinging the rope. Some of us get tangled up in the rope more times than we would like to admit, but that's part of the process. The data for each exercise will then be analyzed using mathematical standards.
Oh wow, that's a lot of exercise. Really detailed indeed.
I agree, but in order to evaluate a person's overall physical health, there needs to be a balance of exercise for all. PE is not just about running around, it's about understanding our bodies, testing our limits, and improving our overall health. And honestly, despite the challenges, it was a fun and eye-opening experience.
Yes, I do agree. Physical activities does have a lot of components that needs to be kept in mind. I'm actually quite surprised that your school conduct a really true exercise examination. And that last statement of yours about putting it into a mathematical equation standard, what does the data represent and how did you analyze it? Did you face any obstacle while doing so?
Okay, so this is my part in math analysis. As we all know, math is basically a study of numbers, patterns, and also logical reasoning. That's why math is such an important subject to be at school, because it helps us to think critically and also sharpening our solving problem even if we don't realize it. And now let's talk about how we collect and analyze the data from our exercise. We first classify and tidy up all the data based on what exercise were done and the result data from each individual. And those who get the same result in an exercise will also be known. And after that, we made the diagrams and table to show the result. So we could see how often each chord appeared. And once the data was organized, we applied 3 math formulas to analyze it. First, we find the mean or the average of the data. We added up all the score for each exercise and divided it into by the number of students to get the average of the data for each exercise. And this helped us to see the typical performance level. The second is finding the most common score. We did this to check which result appeared the most often. And the last one is finding standard deviation and diversity. This tells us how consistent the performance level among students. And if the numbers are close together, it means that most students perform at similar level, but if they spread out, it means that there's a big difference in our performance. Then if we talk about the biggest challenge is sorting the data actually, because it took a lot of time and effort to organize everything properly, because even a small mistake could mess up the whole analysis. So accuracy was the key. It was tedious, but once everything was structured, the insights we gained were totally worth it. Math is actually pretty useful for things like tracking progress in physical activities.
At first I thought it was really complicated process, but you explain it in a way that is so clear and detailed that I think I get the picture now. It seems like a long process to do though.
Yeah, but other than the struggle I mentioned, it's not that complicated. It's just need time to do. And by the way, this is quite out of topic, but this studio setup is really captured my attention. This illustration is cute and wonderful.
Oh my god, oh my, you noticed. Yes, it is done with great care. If you haven't noticed, the designer herself is actually here with us as a guest. I also too think it's fascinating. This is why I invited her over here as a guest.
Oh my god, you guys are making me very flustered. I'm actually very honored. Well, hello once again, everyone. I'm a firm believer that art is actually number one and it's the most beautiful things in life. It gives this dull world, well, life.
Yes, I believe as such as well. Would you mind doing the honor of explaining the art present in the studio? Why do you choose this kind of setup? The illustrations present, the placement of things, the lighting. Why this kind of setup and how are these beautiful illustrations made?
So, art is one of the most wonderful forms of expressing ourselves. Hence, I also express art in the setups itself. After doing tons of research about how to make a perfect setup for a podcast, I decided to go full on nature related. As you can see, we basically set our podcast in front of our yard. While your usual gym studio radiates a burning passion and is also full of energy, I want you guys as the viewers and also ourselves to feel composed and also relaxed throughout the podcast. Sport may be a competitive event where we strive for our goals, but sometimes sport is about having a peace of our mind and also enjoying the moment. That's the main goal of this setup actually. And also let's discuss about the ambience. I would be lying if I stated that I was familiar with this type of field. But usually when you guys go to a gym studio, they will use bright lighting for high energy classes and vice versa for low energy classes such as like yoga. And we also put this kind of lighting here. And before we record, we actually face some kind of trouble, which is we experience some backlight, but we manage it by using some ring light. So I would say that even the smallest detail in the setup is actually dealt with lots of consideration because everything matters and everything makes a difference. The things that I do are actually based on the common knowledge in the filming industry, which is called mise-en-scene. Mise-en-scene is the arrangement of scenery and also stage properties in a play. It came from a French phrase which means setting the stage, but in the film industry, it is not only about setting a stage, but it's everything in front of the camera, which is, for example, like the properties, the costumes, the shots, and also the actors. Mise en scene is the overall event of how it all comes together for the audience. Just like in mise en scene, costume and fashion plays quite a role in exercise too. Have you ever seen a stylish workout outfit? It's like wearing confidence. A good pair of sneakers, a cool athletic outfit, and boom, you're not just working out, you're actually making a statement. Plus, let's be for real. When you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, it actually makes you work out better. So whether it's the movement or the gear, exercising is definitely part of the fitness art world. You can even say that arts and fashions are the only things that's interesting in exercise. I don't actually find exercise appealing if I'm not stylish.
With all due respect, I disagree with your opinion that what truly matters in exercising and also sport is art and fashion. Art and fashion is more of like a complementary factor in exercising. And the one that truly matters in exercise is being healthy, both mentally and physically.
Mentally? What do you mean? You're just stating baseless facts.
Oh my god.
Well, now, let's not get into fight, shall we? That opinion of yours, that said mentally, could you please elaborate more about that? I think it's really interesting. What do you mean that exercise would actually affect a person's body, not physically, but also mentally? Is there any proof of evidence that you can actually provide us to persuade us all?
Yes, I do have my own, not really my own, but I do have basis and to basically to tell about how like exercising could improve our mental and also physical health. So let's take for example jump rope as one of the exercise. And before we get into be started with jump rope is like one of this exercise where we did as a kid. As I still remember like doing jump rope and trying to nail those double dutches during recess. And also oddly enough, we also have like some sort of jump rope examination during our PE class, but I obviously nailed it with an ease. But that's not the point. The point is that jumping rope is for kids. It isn't for kids, but it's for all ages. Like us, like for like teenagers, adults, everyone can do jump rope. And the best thing about jump rope is not only it's exciting, but it's also gets your heart pumping, burn tons of calories, and also improve your coordination, basically. And jump rope doesn't really need like a lot of fancy gym or expensive equipment. You just need some rope and spaces, and then bam, you'll be doing jump rope at that very moment. And also with jump rope, you could basically be sweating like you just ran a marathon. It's basically the same thing as doing a marathon because it also improves your endurance. You could like basically ask any kind of running professional or like any kind of jump rope athletes. They will swear by it that jump rope has the same amount of basically physical exertion as like running. And from the mental health side, we basically in our bodies we have these things called neurotransmitter, which is basically chemical messengers. Like for example serotonin and dopamine, and their function is to basically to tell our body to be, hey, at this very moment you're feeling good, so basically it makes our head and mind to be happy. And when we're doing exercise, it basically releases the serotonin and dopamine, which makes us feel much more happier. And the same thing could be said with stress. When our body is feeling stressed, we usually release these things called cortisol, which could give our body some stress effects. But with doing exercise, it will reduce the level of cortisol and also lessen the stress effect to our body. So not only jumping rope or jump rope or any kind of exercise could improve our physical and mental health, it's a really good thing, to basically kind of incorporate it into our daily life, because not only it could help you to stay fit, but also overall improves our quality of life. So yes.
That is really fascinating. Makes me want to exercise right here, right now. Wow, all of you are truly amazing. How the analysis is made by taking data from students and how it is put into a mathematical equation standards. I would love to hear a full report on that. And especially this whole setup, how it is placed, the great care taken to make this ambience befitting for this podcast is truly amazing. And last but not least, Marcella, your final statement about exercise, how even the simplest form of exercise, if done daily, could actually benefit the whole body and improves the whole overall being of a person, and how it is not only benefit in physically of the body but also mentally. Really fascinates me, and I'm sure that we all learn a thing or two from this podcast. It's really insightful, and I think we can call it a day. And that's it for NPalm Podcast. Interesting things about everyday life. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye!